In breaking news this week, the United States Preventative Task Force has just recommended that women start getting breast cancer screening mammograms from the age of 40 instead of 50. They also want women to have mammograms every 2 years until the age of 74. Today, I'm going to explain why the guidelines were changed, what this means for you, and how you can have your say on the final outcome. I'm Dr. Liz O'Riordan. I'm a breast surgeon who's had breast cancer twice, and I do the research so you don't have to. Before I get to the proposed changes, I wanted to talk about whether the breast screening programme actually works. I know there are doctors out there who don't think mammograms save lives, and I'm not one of them. I believe in the screening programme. The earlier a breast cancer can be detected as a small spot on a mammogram before it becomes a lump that can be felt, the greater the chance of a cure. Women are less likely to need a mastectomy or chemotherapy. But it does mean that millions more women are screened who don't have breast cancer. And some women will end up having biopsies or maybe even surgery for things that turn out to be harmless, and these are called false positives. There is also the chance that for some women, especially those in their late 60s and 70s, they will have surgery and radiotherapy for a cancer that was so slow growing it might never have needed treatment in the first place. And this is because the women would die naturally before the breast cancer started to spread. When screening guidelines are being set, the committees need to take into account the benefit of every woman being screened. They record that as a number of lives that will be saved from regular screening compared to the harm caused from regular mammograms. And that's not just the physical harm from having a biopsy, but the mental harm as well, like the anxiety of waiting for results. So, why were the guidelines changed? There were three main reasons, and the first is that breast cancer is becoming more common in younger women. The Breast Cancer Surveillance Consortium said it was rising in women in their 40s at a rate of 2% each year. The second is that because of the huge improvement in mammogram technology, more and more centres are now using digital 3D mammograms. This leads to an improvement in cancer detection. On top of that, the advances in breast cancer treatment, such as immunotherapy and targeted Herceptin therapy, means there are even more benefits for treating women at an earlier stage. And finally, there is new evidence to show that African-American women are often diagnosed with late-stage disease, they're more likely to have triple-negative breast cancer that can be harder to treat, and are 40% more likely to die from breast cancer than white women. The task force hopes that by screening African-American women at an earlier age, it would improve their outcome. So, could the new guidelines do more harm than good? The task force said that the benefits outweighed the harm and suggested that screening from the age of 40 could save 20% more lives, as well as doubling the extra life years gained from starting treatment at an earlier stage, particularly in the Black community. However, not everyone agrees with these recommendations, and there are experts who don't think the evidence is there to show the benefits from screening at an earlier age, whereas some other experts think we should go further and screen every year, as younger women can have more aggressive cancers like triple-negative cancers that spread more quickly than ER-positive cancers. So what does that mean for you? At the moment, the guidelines are just a recommendation. All the evidence needs to be scrutinised to make sure that the benefits of saving lives outweighs the harms from biopsies and surgery for women who don't have breast cancer. They also need to make sure that enough women in their 40s are willing to come forward and have their screening mammograms. Now, this is important. After the COVID pandemic, the screening rates in the UK dropped drastically. So in some parts of England, only a third of eligible women had their first mammogram. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done to raise the importance of being screened. How can you get involved? If you want to have your say on the new guidelines, you can leave a comment on the Task Force website from May the 9th to June the 5th, 2023, and I've put the link in the description underneath. After that, the Task Force will produce a final summary. If you are worried about getting breast cancer, there are 4 things you can do today to reduce your risk. Number 1, check your breasts regularly. Breast cancers can appear between mammograms, and it's really important that you know what's normal for you, and I tell you how to do it and what a breast cancer feels like in this video. Number 2, reduce the amount of alcohol you drink. Alcohol has been directly linked to breast cancer, and you shouldn't be drinking more than 14 units a week. Number 3, and this is a tough one, but try to get your weight to a healthy range for your height. Obesity has been directly linked to breast cancer. And number 4, get moving. There is now a lot of evidence to show that regular aerobic and resistance-based exercise can reduce your risk of getting breast cancer, as well as reducing your risk of getting heart disease. It's really important that keeping active becomes a routine part of your life. I'm Dr. Liz O'Riordan, and thanks for watching today. If you've got any more questions about breast screening or mammograms, let me know in the comments and I'll do a video to explain it all for you. Thanks for subscribing. Make sure you don't miss next week's video, and I'll see you next time.